All right, ready to dive into Flare Network. You've heard the hype, but we're going deeper, way deeper. Can Flare Network actually deliver on all those ambitious goals? That's what we're here to figure out.
Yeah, it's a big question. We've got all this research, technical analysis, even price predictions, but we're cutting through all that.
Cutting through the noise?
Exactly, to see if Flair's actions actually match their
I
aspirations.
like it. Cut to the chase.
Yeah.
So, first things first, who are the people leading the charge at Flare?
Well, Flair Network comes from Flair Labs, co-founded by Hugo Philin and Dr. Nayuri Usher. Hugo's the CEO. He's got a background in investment management, and that's kind of interesting when you see how well they've done with fundraising.
Right. They raised $11.3 million back in 2021 and just recently, what was it, $35 million?
Yep, $35 million more. Serious vote of confidence
For sure.
from investors.
Big time. So money's there, but can they actually deliver? What about Dr. Usher? What's his expertise?
Oh, Dr. Usher, he's the CSO and CTO. His background is seriously impressive. PhD in quantum computing from University College London,
Wow.
and he's got deep expertise in machine learning.
That's not just theoretical stuff either, right? You see it in Flare's actual tech.
Exactly. It's not just talk.
Quantum computing and blockchain.
Yeah.
That's a powerful combo.
For sure.
But it comes down to execution. Launching a network is one thing, but what about innovating, keeping things moving?
Yeah, well, that's where it gets interesting. They launched their mainnet back in 2022, and since then they've been rolling out some pretty innovative protocols, like their Flare Time series, Oracle, the FTSO.
The FTSO. Okay, what is that in a nutshell?
Think of it as like a super secure way for smart contracts on Flare to access real-time data,
Okay.
like asset prices and stuff.
Hold on. So if a smart contract needs to know the price of, say, XRP, it can just ask this FPSO thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty useful, especially for DeFi.
Exactly. DeFi lives and breathes on accurate real-time data, and traditional ways to get that data onto the blockchain, they can be kind of risky. Flare's FTSO, it's like this decentralized, secure solution, which is super important for building, those really strong DeFi apps.
Gotcha. Okay. So I see the bigger picture here. Strong leadership, good track record with fundraising, and they seem committed to innovation, cool tech.
Yeah.
But can you give me some actual examples of how they've been executing on their roadmap, like specifics?
Absolutely. Last month, they launched facets on the Songbird network. Started with FXRP, a wrapped version of XRP. It lets users, mint, trade, even earn rewards with FXRP.
All on Songbird.
Yep, all thanks to Flare's smart contract capabilities.
So they're basically making it possible for XRP, which doesn't normally do smart contracts, to join this more dynamic ecosystem.
Exactly.
And that fits with their whole bridging different blockchains idea, right?
Precisely. It's a real tangible example of how they're making that vision of interoperability happen.
Making XRP more useful.
Yeah, expanding what it can do. And they're not stopping there.
Okay, I'm listening. What else have they been up to?
Well, in August, they integrated Polyhedra's ZK bridge. Might sound a bit technical, but it's all about making those cross-chain applications more secure and efficient.
So building bridges between blockchains, but making sure those bridges are super secure.
Yeah.
Which is essential, especially these days.
Oh, absolutely. And they're not just focused on security, they're also tackling how to connect to as many blockchains as they can. Back in July, they integrated Stargate V2,
Okay.
which basically plugged Flare into a whole network of over 25 blockchains.
Wow, so they're not trying to build like a walled garden.
Nope.
They're connecting to the whole wider blockchain space. That's got to be good for adoption.
Exactly. It's a smart move, opens up tons of possibilities for developers and users.
And what about that price breakout Flare had back in June?
Oh yeah, that was big.
That was linked to the FTSO updates and those platform integrations, right?
Yeah, a lot of it was. The market's definitely noticing what they're doing.
They're making moves.
Sure.
Okay, so we've got solid evidence of Flare actually delivering on their tech roadmap. But what about the human side of things? What's the team like in terms of, communicating, engaging with the community?
They've been very active, especially with developers. They've been doing these hackathons, like the one at ETH Oxford.
Oh, cool.
And they're showing up at all the big blockchain events, ETH Denver, WebEx Tokyo, doing meetups and stuff.
So they're not just building in isolation.
Right.
They're out there talking to developers, getting feedback, building a real community.
Exactly.
That's got to be crucial, right? For attracting talent and building a strong ecosystem.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They get it, A blockchain project's success, it's not just about the tech itself, it's about the people who support it.
The community.
Yeah, and they're putting in the work to build that community.
Okay, this is all painting a pretty positive picture of FLR's ability to execute.
Mhm.
They've got the team, the tech, and they're engaging with the community. But we touched on this earlier, they've also gotten some serious financial backing. Let's dig into that next. Who are the big players supporting FLR's vision?
All right, let's talk about the money.
Yeah, let's do it.
Welcome back to our deep dive into FLR Network. So we're talking funding.
Yeah, we saw that FLR's team is not just all talk, they're actually making things happen.
They are.
Delivering on their roadmap, building a community, and attracting some serious talent. But now, let's get to the fuel that powers any ambitious project. The money. Who's backing FLR, and what does that tell us about their future?
It's a great question, and honestly, it says a lot about their vision, the team's execution, that they've got these major players on board.
Right.
We already mentioned those impressive funding rounds,
Hmm.
but it goes deeper than that. Some of their early investors, they've actually extended their token vesting periods,
Interesting.
which basically shows they believe in this project for the long term.
So it's not a quick in and out. These investors are in it for the long haul,
Yeah, they're committed.
which is a big sign of confidence in FLR's potential.
Exactly.
But let's get specific. Who are some of these big backers? Names.
One name that really stands out is Digital Currency Group.
DCG.
DCG, yeah. They're a powerhouse in the crypto world, known for making some really smart investments in, some of the most successful projects out there.
Yeah, they've got a good track record.
Did you?
Having DCG on board is a pretty big deal.
It's a huge validation for FLR.
For sure. Anybody else?
Another one is Pantera Capital, another big crypto investment firm.
Okay.
And they've got this knack for picking winners. They were early investors in projects like Filecoin and Polkadot, both of which,
Exploded.
that blew up. Yeah,
So FLR's in good company.
definitely.
Seems they've attracted investors who know how to start projects that are going to shake things up.
That's the key.
But it's not just about the big names, right? What about the wider community? Are developers actually building on FLR?
That's the real test. And again, things are looking good.
All right.
FLR's been actively doing these hackathons, and that one they had at ETH Oxford, that was a big success.
What came out of that?
Oh, they brought together all these talented developers
Or everywhere.
from all over the world, yeah, to build cool new applications on FLR.
So they're creating this space for like experimentation, collaboration.
Yeah.
And it's not just about providing the platform. It's about like nurturing a community that's actually going to drive innovation.
For sure.
Are there any like specific projects, use cases that came out of those hackathons?
Yeah, there was this one project from the ETH Oxford hackathon I was really interesting. They used FLR's state connector to create this cross-chain insurance protocol.
Okay.
Basically, it lets users pool their risk across different blockchains, creates a more diversified and resilient insurance market.
Huh. That's a really concrete example of how FLR's tech can build real-world solutions,
Right.
that actually address real problems. That's got to be encouraging for both investors and developers.
Oh, absolutely. It shows that FLR's tech can go beyond just like theoretical ideas and actually create value.
Right.
But beyond hackathons, what else are they doing for developers?
Yeah, good question.
They've been organizing meetups at all the big blockchain events, ETH Denver, WebEx Tokyo,
Right.
giving developers a chance to connect, share ideas, learn from each other.
Building that community.
It's all about that.
It's not just waiting for developers to find them. They're going out there and making it happen.
Exactly. That's a smart move.
Proactive.
They know a thriving ecosystem needs more than just a cool platform.
Right, yeah.
It needs that supportive, collaborative community.
Okay, but let's not forget about the core tech itself.
The foundation.
Yeah. We talked about some of FLR's key features earlier, but let's go deeper.
Okay.
How are they actually being used to solve real-world problems, like that FLR Time Series Oracle, the FTSO, the one that gives secure, decentralized data to smart contracts?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a solid example of how that's being applied? Something practical?
Absolutely. One really interesting use case is in decentralized derivatives trading.
Derivatives, okay.
Yeah. Imagine a platform where users can trade derivatives contracts based on real-world assets.
Like commodities, stocks?
Yeah, things like that. And these contracts, they need super accurate price data to work properly.
Right.
That's where the FTSO shines.
Gotcha.
Instead of relying on these centralized exchanges or those old school data providers.
Which can be manipulated, go offline.
All sorts of problems.
These decentralized derivatives platforms can use the FTSO.
Yep. Secure and decentralized data feeds. It's a big deal for DeFi.
Game changer.
Yeah, it really opens things up. You can create all these new financial instruments that are way more transparent, secure, and accessible.
That's the promise of DeFi, right?
Exactly. But the FTSO isn't the only tool they've got. We talked about their state connector, too.
Right, the one that lets Flare verify info from other blockchains.
Securely and in a decentralized way.
Like building bridges between different blockchain islands.
That's a good way to put it.
But how's that actually being used?
One cool application is in cross-chain lending.
Oh, interesting.
Imagine a platform where you can borrow assets from one blockchain using collateral from a completely different blockchain.
Wow.
The state connector can verify that whole process.
Make sure everything's legit.
Yep, make sure the loans are backed properly and the system stays secure.
So it's not just about moving assets between blockchains.
Yep.
It's about making these complex financial interactions happen.
Across different ecosystems.
That's powerful stuff.
It is. It opens up all these new possibilities for DeFi. You can build these truly interconnected financial systems.
And we can't forget about Flare's F-Asset protocol.
The one that brings XRP, Litecoin, Dogecoin onto Flare.
Right, F-Assets. It's about making those assets more useful, letting them work with smart contracts.
Exactly.
But are there any examples of F-Assets being used to build actual real-world applications?
Yeah, one interesting example is the development of stablecoins,
Okay.
but ones that are pegged to currencies other than the US dollar.
So not just USD.
Right. Imagine a stablecoin pegged to the euro, built on Flare using FXRP as collateral.
Huh. Interesting.
This could be huge for cross-border payments, especially in places where USD-backed stablecoins aren't easily available.
So it's about more than just cool features. It's about solving real problems,
Yeah,
expanding financial inclusion.
that's the goal.
That's a powerful message. Welcome back. Last part of our Flare deep dive. And gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with what we've seen so far.
Yeah, they do a lot of things right.
But the blockchain world, it's all about looking ahead. So what's next for Flare? What's the future look like?
Yeah, we've seen that they can execute.
We can deliver.
But the real challenge, it's keeping that momentum going and achieving all those, those big long-term goals they've set.
So milestones, what are the big ones?
Yeah.
What does Flare need to do to really cement their place and actually make this interconnected future a reality?
One of the big news is expanding their network. They've made good progress connecting to other blockchains.
Like with Stargate V2.
Yeah, exactly. But they got to keep building those bridges. The more blockchains they connect with, the more valuable Flare becomes.
Right, like this central hub.
Exactly.
More connections, more possibilities.
That's it. It's all about creating that smooth flow of assets, data across the whole blockchain world.
So what else is crucial for their long-term success, besides just connecting everything?
Continuous product development. That's absolutely essential.
Got to keep innovating.
Yeah, the blockchain space moves so fast, new tech and solutions popping up all the time. Flare needs to stay ahead of the game.
So it's not enough to just build a great platform.
Nope.
You got to keep evolving.
Right, adapt to the changing needs of the blockchain world.
Where should they focus their development efforts, then?
One key area is scaling up.
Making things more efficient.
Yeah, exactly. Their core protocols need to be able to handle more users, more applications, without slowing down or, compromising security.
Scalability, that's a big challenge for any blockchain project.
It
But for Flare, with their vision of connecting everything, it's even more important.
Absolutely. And another thing is they got to keep improving the experience for developers.
Make it easy to build on Flare.
Yeah, they're doing the hackathons, the meetups, which is great, but it's also about, good documentation, intuitive tools.
Support, making sure developers have what they need.
Exactly. It's not just about having cool tech. It's got to be easy for developers to actually use it.
Makes sense. So tech's important, developer experience is important. What about the community side? We talked about engaging developers, but what else can Flare do to build a strong, supportive community?
Education is huge.
Teaching people about Flare.
Yeah, they need to explain in simple terms how Flare works, what it can do, why it matters.
Break it down.
Yeah, make it easy to understand. The more people who get it, the more people will want to be a part of it.
And what about that open source collaborative spirit we talked about earlier?
Yeah, that's got to continue. Encourage developers to share their code, work together, help the whole ecosystem grow.
It's about creating a space where everyone can contribute,
Yeah,
where the knowledge and expertise of the whole community drives innovation.
that's the idea.
Okay, so let's zoom out again. Big picture time. If Flare actually achieves all of this, what's the impact? How could this interconnected blockchain future, the one they're building, how could that change things?
The possibilities are huge. Imagine a world where different blockchains can just talk to each other.
Easily share data.
Yeah, assets can move freely between ecosystems.
Developers can build apps that use the best parts of multiple chains,
Exactly. It's breaking down the walls between these separate blockchain worlds.
creating this truly interconnected space.
That's the vision.
Where could this have the biggest impact?
Oh, cross-border payments for sure. Imagine sending money anywhere in the world, instantly.
Securely, cheaply.
Yeah. Flare could make that a reality.
No more hassle with traditional financial systems.
That's right.
A more inclusive, efficient, global financial system, all thanks to blockchain.
Exactly. And that's just one example.
What else? What other areas could be transformed by this interconnected future?
Supply chain management.
Track goods
Yeah. From the moment they're made to when they reach the customer.
with total transparency.
And security. Less fraud, more efficiency. Consumers can make their choices.
So many possibilities.
Oh, yeah. But let's be real, there are going to be challenges along the way.
There always are.
Technical hurdles, regulations, competition.
But from what we've seen, Flare seems ready to face those challenges.
They do.
They've got the team, the tech, the community.
It's a good foundation.
Well, this has been an amazing journey exploring the world of Flare Network.
It has.
We've covered so much, from their team and their tech to their vision for the future.
And their ability to actually make it happen.
Exactly. It's a story that's still being written,
For sure.
but it's one we should all be paying attention to.
Definitely.
Flare is pushing the boundaries of blockchain, and their focus on connecting everything, on security, on community, it could lead to a really exciting future.
A future we all want to be a part of.
So, to everyone listening, keep an eye on Flare Network. They just might be the key to unlocking a whole new era of blockchain innovation. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep thinking critically about the future of this incredible technology.
See you next time.